Okay, so I was really paranoid after the first time I went to the psych unit that somebody was putting something in my weed, but for some reason I just didn't stop smoking it until like 2022 after I went to the psych unit in the fall, and then I detoxed basically and got out. And then before I went in, actually, the nurse made a comment to me like, "Oh, you're clean. Your blood tested, no drugs." Like, yeah, it better. Like, why would it test for anything other than marijuana? Why would she make that comment to me? And then she pretended that she couldn't find my vein, and I've never had that happen before. Every other time that I've gotten a needle stuck in my arm or my wrist, they've said it was very easy to do that. So she was like hurting me on purpose. And then she goes, "Oh, you tested clean. Good job." Like, what the fuck? And then the nurse sitting across from me started talking about how the hospital was being hacked. And then I went to Stonecrest. And then I met a couple people and we did tarot with playing cards and just hung out. And obviously there's nothing else to do. So um anyway, I started getting really paranoid that there was something in my weed. And then Kevin had his mom move in at the beginning of 2022 in July of 2022. And on my birthday, he went with her to the car dealership and they bought her a new car that she was making payments on, and she went to go work at Subway and make payments on her car on my birthday. And um I was just really annoyed and upset, and they didn't even do anything for me for my birthday. Oh no, we got donuts and sushi. Like I got yesterday and today for myself and my daughter. And um so anyway, probably around the end of July, maybe early August, end of August. I'm not sure exactly when it was. It's sometime between July and October. And Kevin me and Kevin were hiding the weed back and forth from each other, and he um, took the weed. He kept taking the weed with him in his car to go to work, and I chased him outside to his truck, jumped into it with because he had his window down, trying to grab it out of his hand, and he was like, "Get off! Go away! You're crazy!" And I was like, "Give me the weed!" And I ended up calling the police. He ended up staying at the medical staff from Monroe Hospital came. I recognized one of them from when I stayed at Monroe Hospital. My ribs hurt really bad, and they were like, "Do you want us to take you?" And I was like, "No, I'm literally afraid of the hospital at this point. I have trauma from going to the hospital because you guys forced me to take drugs and tell me things happened that didn't happen, and you don't listen to me talk." So um I signed a waiver saying that I wasn't going to go to the hospital. And my ribs hurt so bad, and I ended up like laying in a weird position to sleep just because I couldn't barely move. It hurt really bad for a couple weeks. And then me and Debbie started fighting more. Me and Kevin started fighting more. They kept like doing this weird thing where they'd go in the other room and whisper about me, and then come back into where I was and start like saying stuff to me that would get me upset. And then I ended up sleeping on our little brown couch, pull out couch. It wasn't pulled out at the time though. I put knives under the cushions and slept on top of the couch. Kevin slept in that room. Debbie slept in the guest room, and Clara slept across from her in Clara's room. And then that was the morning. When I had the knives under the couch, I slept, woke up, getting Clara ready for school. I was watching the Leo King on YouTube Live, and uh, they were saying weird stuff in the chat. Then somebody said Sandy is up, and then Sandy shook her collar, and then Debbie walked out, started like basically harassing me, recording me. So I started recording her, and we're like holding phones in each other's faces, and she's like pushing her chest into me, and I'm not backing up, and she's like trying to like push me with her body, and it's just like I ended up screaming outside that because I had like a dream that she posted a naked video of me to TikTok. So I ended up outside screaming that she was posting adult videos to child social media, because to me that's sort of what TikTok was, but not really. But I was kind of going crazy at that time. And she called the police on me. I locked her out of the house. Then I called the police, told them what was going on. I didn't mention the screaming, the naked pictures TikTok thing. And then, um, so then I opened the door angry because I already called the police myself, picked up Debbie's phone and threw it, like, fuck you. And then, because I thought she was messing with my phone, like every time she would walk past me in the kitchen, my phone would ping. And then I locked her back out, and then the police showed up. I talked to the police, let them walk around while I sat in the back of the cop car. I started rapping, saying a bunch of random stuff about Charles Manson. They talked. No, my daughter was at school at that point, and I gave her a bag of peanut cookies on purpose because I was just so frustrated. And I know that they're not supposed to have peanuts, and I'm sorry, but it was what we had because that's what Debbie kept buying with food stamps. I think that's it for now. I don't know.